Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's Bhagavatam class. Today we continue with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, verse 36. And the chapter is entitled March Parikshit Crossed by a Brahmin Boy. We are in a discussion where the Brahmin's son, Shringi, finds out that what has happened to his father, and he is not very happy. Being an immature Brahmin boy, we see what he's going to do. And we're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada Maharaj.
Oh, glory, Prabhupada, my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas. Thank you for all being here. So, Srimad Bhagavatam 1:18-36. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ityukva Rosatam Rakso Vyayasan Shri Balakaha Kausakya Pa Upasprisya Vagrajam Visaisarjaya. Translation: the son of the Rishi, his eyes red hot with anger, touched the water of the river Kausika while speaking to his playmates and discharged the following thunderbolt words. The circumstances under which Maharaj Parikshit was cursed was simply childish, as it appears from this verse. Shringi was showing his impudency among his playmates who were innocent. Any sane man would have prevented him from doing such great harm to all human society. By killing a king like Maharaj Parikshit just to make a show of acquired Brahminical power, the inexperienced son of a Brahmana committed a great mistake. Om Gyan Timidandasya Ginajana Salakaya Chaksuan Balitam Yed Tasmai Sri Guru Vaidavaha Vadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachadine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Satarine Vanchakalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vachapatitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So again, we're further getting into the heart of the whole pastime here. Why was Maharaj Parikshit cursed? Although it has been understood and accepted that what he did wasn't anywhere comparable to the punishment he received for what he did. It's like if somebody, steals something and they get sent to the death penalty. And that would be quite outlandish in comparison to the crime. Although stealing is a crime, still to give a death penalty to somebody who steals is way beyond, fairness, you might say, in relationship to the activity. Haridas.
Yes, that's well.
So here, and we see what was his motivation. He wanted to show off to his playmates to show his Brahminical power. And he used this excuse as a way to do it. Sometimes we see in life that someone who commits a great crime gets away with it and there's no punishment. And someone who is done something very small has to suffer greatly. Of course, you may say there are many factors in both of these cases, and that is understood. But one thing we understand is that, especially in Kali Yuga, and this was the beginning, or how Kali's influence entered into this particular age, and that is that people who are innocent, who may have committed a crime, but don't have any legal help to get them out, don't have any money. In other words, they're victimized simply by their poor situation. If this person, you might conjecture or do a little philosophical speculation on this, if this was done by one of the friends of Shringi, I don't think he would have acted in the same way, even though the activity might have been the same. So here we see, and of course it ends by saying he committed a great mistake. So, therefore, what they say, this knowledge, we're talking about the knowledge of Vedic culture, if it gets into the hands of the wrong people, or it's used in the way that it's not intended, it can create great havoc and harm within society and within the individuals who are involved. So devotees should always understand that this knowledge that we have received must be used according to how it has been directed and not otherwise. Just like if one builds up enough spiritual credits due to their execution of devotional service and maybe accumulation of previous pious activities, and they start using their position or their so-called advancement or actual advancement in order to facilitate some selfish interest. In other words, well, this person is being given the position and I want that position. So let me use my advancement in spiritual life to take advantage and get that position for myself. So of course, their advancement is also impaired and halted at that time. But that's an example how a good thing can turn into something ugly. Having power, having position, having some kind of recognition, and being acclaimed for that, now is used the wrong way. Just like the example was Daksha when he walked into the arena, and of many great sages and saints, and they all immediately rose to honor his presence. Some of them, they didn't even think about standing up. It was automatic. I think with such a, what we say, a glorifiable personality, had all good qualities. But then he apparently saw some discretion in the behavior of Lord Shiva. And what did he do? Start finding fault with a great personality. And then, of course, his whole reputation was lost. In fact, he even lost his head because of that. He was given his head was cut off, and he was given the head of a goat. So the whole story is mentioned in the fourth canto. I think it's in the seventh chapter of the fourth canto, the very beginning of the fourth canto. Yeah, or maybe it's not. Maybe even earlier it starts. I'm not sure what chapter. I think it starts right at the beginning of the fourth canto. I'm just using that as an example. So yeah, and we see the example here again. Power, position, facility, and all of a sudden it turns into something ugly. And Prabhupada calls it simply childish, a great mistake. He was impudent, should never have been done, caused great harm to society. He was showing off his Brahminical powers. There was nothing correct about what Shringi did. Okay, let's go on to the next verse. Verse number 37. Iti langita maryadam taksaka saptame hani dakshyasti sma kulangaram kodito me tatadruham. And then the curse is pronounced. The Brahman's son cursed the king thus. On the seventh day from today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched of that dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of etiquette by insulting my father. Purport. Thus, by the beginning of the misuse of Brahminical power began, and gradually the Brahmanas of the age of Kali became devoid of Brahminical powers and culture. The Brahmin boy considered Maharaj Parikshit to be a Kulangara, or the wretched of the dynasty. But factually, the Brahmin boy himself was so because only from him did the Brahminical caste become powerless, like the snakes whose poisoned teeth are broken. The snake is fearful as long as his poisoned teeth are there, otherwise he is fearful only to children. The personality of Kali conquered the Brahmin boy first and gradually the other castes. Thus, the whole scientific system of the orders of society in this age has assumed the form of a vitiated caste system, which is now being uprooted by another class of men similarly influenced by the age of Kali. One should see the root cause of vitiation and not try to condemn the system as it is without knowledge of its scientific value. So here, now something is good and apparently changes into something bad. It's just like if your child gets sick and he has a very, terrible disease, you don't throw the baby away or get rid of it. You try to cure the disease. So Chaturvarna Mayasya Guna Karma Vibhaga Saha was created by Krishna himself, the 4 varnas and 4 ashrams, as a stable principle of execution of one's social and spiritual position within the society, divided into 4 categories according to nature and spiritual proclivities. And because it is a scientific system and it's foundational for bringing the society to the level of Brahminical culture and ultimately taking them to the position of devotional service, then even though it may have gone wrong due to misuse of a good thing doesn't make the good thing useless. It simply needs to be brought back to its standard. So in the same way, here we see people now, they have no faith in the caste society or the Varnashram society, and they have given it another name called the caste system. It's a kind of a analogy that is somewhat less definitive of the actual system. The Varna and ashram is what it is. It's not caste. Caste means something that is molded in a certain way and appears within that designed mold. And so, therefore, we see what is the vitiation is that people think, well, birth is actually the indication of one's particular varna. And that works in both ways for those who have high birth and those who have low birth. But Narada Muni, in one of his verses, I can't remember the exact quote, he explains that everything should be done by quality. And even if a person is born in a Sudra family and is exhibiting the qualities of a Brahmana, he should be designated as a Brahmin. And even one if is born in a Brahminical family and he's acting in another Varna, then he should be categorized according to how he is acting and not by birth. So birth is not the indication, although birth gives one a push in that particular direction. But that doesn't mean that it's complete. One has to actually work according to those qualities designed by that particular Varna. And so the whole scientific, as Prabhupada said, the scientific system is, he called it the whole scientific system of the orders of society, has been vitiated into a caste system. And there was a meeting between Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati and many of the caste Brahmins at the time. This was in the year 1911 in Midnapur, and it was at the beginning of September, where the Brahmins were quite prominent in society, and they were saying, if you're born in a Brahminical family, you are a Brahmana. But the Vaishnava understanding is that that Brahmana, by the social orders, is the leader of society, but they must also lead by quality and not simply by birth. Birth is an advancement towards the quality, but the qualities are actually indicating the particular Varna that one is. So if one is not, just like Prabhupada would use the example, in India, many of the Brahmins who were born in Brahminical families, they're driving these rickshaws in the streets. They're acting like Sudras. So they can't be called a Brahmin, even though they wear Brahmin threads, because they were born in Brahminical families. Brahmin means guna and karma, and not janma. Qualities and activities. So we have here, and today Srila Prabhupada's program is to reestablish the whole Varnashram system into what is called Daivi Varnashram. This is one of the most important projects within the ISKCON society in terms of Srila Prabhupada's instructions. He wanted this Varnashram system to be implicated in our system, but he called it Daivi. Daivi means spiritual. Varnashram is material. The four varnas and the four ashrams, that's material, but it's foundational to develop to the mode of goodness, and then ultimately transcend into the mode of pure goodness, or Sudasattva, Krishna consciousness. So it has some value, but in today's society, everything is topsy-turvy, and people are not working according to their particular nature. Why? Because people are motivated by money. The money becomes the motivation, and the activity that they can perform depends on how much money that particular activity offers. So people are more interested in gaining money than working according to their nature. Of course, if they can work according to their nature and make money, they're inclined to do that. But money becomes prominent as the prominent feature of one's, what we say, life's resources. But therefore, there's a whole breakdown in today's society. That's why society is so upside down. You have people in the government. Government means kshatriyas. Kshatriyas means managers, protectors, of people who give welfare to others who require help. They are protectors. They're in the mood of a father protecting their children who are the progeny or the citizens in the state. But because they don't have the qualities of a kshatriya, they simply vie for power and get some position, and they think that qualifies them for that position. Just because somebody votes you into a position doesn't mean you're qualified. Because the people who are voting them in don't know how to vote and don't know how to understand what is the standard for such positions. So they vote according to material reasons and not for proper rule in society. And so you have so many problems. So Prabhupada wanted this Varnashram college where devotees are training to practice the different activities of the different varnas in such a way that they can go back into the spiritual environment and establish a social system that is supportive of all of the activities within the spiritual system. Like in our spiritual society, we do so many things. Many of the things we do are similar to what is being done in the material world. But these things are required, such as building buildings, cooking, learning various types of skills in order to, implement certain necessities within the society, such as being electricians, being architects, like that. So that's fine. That's necessary. But if it's not done for the service of the Lord, then it's material, and it doesn't have any support either. So Prabhupada's idea was to train devotees in the different skills that are needed to carry on the social environment in the society, which will allow for the spiritual atmosphere to develop even more, because there will be more time and more intelligence applied to that particular project. So these are some points that we can think of. So now you can see from this series how Kali Yuga began. As long as Maharaj Parikshit was there, Kali couldn't enter. So Kali found a way in, and in the way in, the first thing he did was to try to destroy Maharaj Parikshit. And he used this inexperienced boy to do it. But the system itself is perfect. The system itself is the foundation for progressive spiritual activities. when devotees are working, serving, I should use the word serving, according to their nature. Everyone has a particular nature, but then what is that nature? How do we understand that nature? Is there an evaluation system to help us understand? Yes, there's one that's called practical education based on the different varnas. And the other one is the position of the spiritual master to observe and to engage the devotee in a practical service according to their nature. And that's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, how the spiritual master's duty is to see how best the disciple can serve in the mission, which will make them inspired in their service and become very, very, what we say, they really contribute a lot to the uplift of the entire society through working according to their nature. Unfortunately, that's not there, although some people are working toward their nature by their own choice. But as a whole, it still requires organization. But before organization can really be applied, there has to be clear understanding, and that comes through the educational system. So the Prabhupada's idea was to establish a college run by Brahmanas who would teach Brahminical activities, Kshatriya activities, Vaishya activities. And when devotees become expert at these things, then we can contribute something to the entire society, not just within the confines of the Hare Krishna movement. Now, the rest of the society will also benefit. As Prabhupada said, as society collapses, then people from the outside will come to our farm communities and look for some shelter, some employment, and we can give them that. So therefore, he said, establish these farms where Varnashram can actually be implemented. So that's a broad discussion. There's many details to how to approach this lifestyle, but it's scientific. It was done by Krishna. It's spoken by this pure devotee spiritual master. When we know something is clear and right, and yet we find it too difficult to do, then we have to see, why is it difficult if it's so recommended? It's difficult because of the wrong mindset that the persons have. The mindset is that we're looking for convenience, we're looking for gain, material gain, rather than looking for spiritual development. So that's one of the anarthas that manifests itself in establishing an ideal society. Okay, I'll stop there. We can see if there's any discussion.
Thank you so much for this wonderful class. And I just stopped sharing, and I'm going to ask devotees if you can please turn on your videos wherever possible. And if you have any questions, please do raise your hands and we will go ahead and ask a question. Mohini, I think you have a question. Go ahead, Mataji. Your speaker is on, so I'm assuming that you have a question.
Who's
Oh.
that?
Mohini Devi, I don't know if she's audible for anyone, but okay.
I don't see her anywhere online. Where is she?
She's on my side, Maharaj. She's okay.
Sorry, Mataji, by mistake it got.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't ignore you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, there is a question here by Rishabha Das Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev and Vaishnavas, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and to you, Gurudev. I'm realizing more and more that only with Varnashram farm communities are real ISKCON movement and development possible. That's a comment that he's making.
I agree, but because everything else is in place and everything else is moving according to Srila Prabhupada's direction. That's one part of the whole plan of Srila Prabhupada's plan for purifying the world and making it Krishna conscious, and it hasn't really been implemented. And so you need a social system. Devotees are working outside. We're working for karmis. We are associating with non-devotees. We're sending our kids to schools that teaching them all kinds of nonsense and wrong activities. And then we expect them to become Krishna conscious. Therefore, we're trying to become Krishna consciousness, and we're living a lifestyle that is in line with the materialistic society, which is contrary to Krishna consciousness. And so it's like, it's like you're trying to drink water while you're underwater. You're going to drown. So Prabhupada's idea was set up a self-sufficient society. Everything is there. Krishna provides everything by nature. And so he emphasized this as one of the most important aspects in developing our society. We have to have a lifestyle that is conducive to spiritual practice and not contrary to spiritual practice. And we're living contrary. That's what most of us are doing. We're getting this paper money. We're going to stores. We're plugging into the whole social, political, economic, industrial, soul-killing society, associating with non-devotees when we should be associating with devotees, in order just to get some livelihood. Therefore, the society, Prabhupada gradually taught us how to transition out of that into a society that is conducive to association and education and ultimately practice of Krishna consciousness. We're eating food that's full of poison. We're drinking milk based on cows that are being killed. We're associating with people who, their values are completely opposite of our values. And then we expect, why is Krishna consciousness so difficult? It's when you want to mix, if you have sweet rice and you want to put a little bit of, what do you call it? Orange juice in it, it's not going to taste like sweet rice anymore. Now that's our situation, and we think it's okay. It's not okay. And as the society in general fails to support our lifestyle due to its being based on greed and lust, anger, envy, that's the whole material society is based on all of these. And that can be documented directly by many examples. And then we want to be Krishna conscious. You want to be Krishna conscious, you have to live in such a way that you move in the direction of devotion and not simply compromise your devotion with half or 50% or 75% of your time. So Prabhupada was clear, build these farms, self-sufficient. I'm out here in Germany right now for a festival. I'm living in a little not a cottage, a very nice building here. All around us, there's fields, there's cows in the fields. It's a very nice atmosphere here. But the houses are not like some shabby little shacks that people have to, plug up the windows because they have holes in it. They're nice buildings, but still they live in an environment that is, you can grow food, keep cows, you can have so many areas for development, place where children can actually expand, play, and get more and more association from so many other people. So the world has provided, at least God through nature has provided the atmosphere. We're not using it. We're just stuck in these rotten cities, which are hell. The cities are meant for preaching, that's all, not for living. That's what Prabhupada said. Not living in it. We preach in the cities because people are in the cities. And so for the brahmacharis and the sannyasis, they can go in and out of the cities. But for those who have families, who have children, who want to stabilize their economic situation and their spiritual practice, they need an environment that is conducive to that. And we're just accepting compromise as a way of, what we say, a way of life. But there's no need to accept compromise. All the ingredients are there, both by Prabhupada's instructions and by nature's arrangement. It's all there.
Thank you, Maharaj, for an in-depth answer to Vishavadas Prabhu's question. Maharaj, there's another question here by Veronica, and after hers, I'll come to you, Sri Devi Mataji. Veronica's question, Maharaj, please, Guru Maharaj, in your opinion, what is the role that women most need to play in trying to build a perfect Vedic society?
Mother. Mother, caregiver, protector. Your mother is your, on a material level, your mother is the closest thing to you. Women are designed to have children, to nourish those children, and to bring them up in such a way that they are happy, healthy, knowledgeable, and will be engaged in the goal of life, Krishna consciousness. Women are not simply secretaries for some big business company. It's not their position. That's an exploitation of the women's society in today's, to use cheaper labor to get the job done. And so they hire women. They even do that with children also. So yeah, I maybe I'm a little bit old-fashioned, but I think, women really develop their feminine characteristics when they are in the role of mother. God arranges everything ideally. Your mother takes care of you, she nourishes you, she guides you, she corrects you when it's necessary. She's a homemaker. She makes the home pleasant. She worships the deity at the home. She decorates the home to make the home pleasant and, what we say, nice atmosphere for the husband and for the children. She does it a lot. I think they did a survey in America. America's just full of surveys. That's all they do. And one of the things that they somehow came up with, if they calculate all of the activities that a housewife does, and then give equal pay according to the standard, what we say, salary given for those activities, they would make about $50,000 a year. So we've pushed women into into the workforce, and we minimize their role as mothers, caregivers.
Hope that helped, Veronica.
Thank you. Thank you very much to all of you, especially Guru Maharaj, for the daily class. It's a blessing, and thank you for your answer. You know, I've raised 5 children. When I didn't know about Krishna consciousness, and it is now very difficult because they are grown up, but I'm praying and trying to improve myself as a mother, although they are grown up. Thank you very much for your guidance and for being here.
Thank you. A mother, as it says in the Shastras, the most important person in existence is Krishna, and second is mother. That's a statement from where was it? Manu Samhita. We've minimized the role of mothers. We've turned them into some kind of, work for, getting the job done kind of person. Women have great they have the ability to remember things much better than men do, in general. They have great memories. Men forget things easy, generally. Women never forget. It says that in the Bhagavad Gita: fame, fortune, memory, patience, these are all feminine qualities. Women can teach patience simply by their role as a mother. They are very expert at developing patience. You might say they're kind of forced into that quality by the role they play, but it's a fact.
Thank you, Maharaj. Before I go to you, Kil, I'm going to ask Sri Devi because she had her hand up earlier. Sri Devi, you can go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Anasuya. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. By your mercy, Guru Maharaj, I had the good fortune of visiting a farm here in Ljubljana, Slovenia. And if you will kindly permit me to share that experience for a minute, I would like to tell everyone what an amazing experience it was. May I?
Sure, I'm okay with it. What do you think, Anasuya? She's got both. She got her thumb high in the air.
It's all yours, Mataji. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this young couple, Ashtasakhi and Antardweep, they're a couple over here with a small 4-year-old son. They inherited some property that the mother had, and now they have made a beautiful farm in which they are growing everything possible. Everything, meaning really everything. And Antardweep, her husband, said, we have been self-sufficient for 3 years now. I said, don't you have to work an outside job or something to get some money? And he says, no, I don't have to work an outside job. I'm just on my farm. And he said, well, we do buy a few things like sugar and some oils, but other than that, we have everything. They have cows. They're growing vegetables, a variety of vegetables. They're growing spelt, corn, buckwheat, among the grains. They have fruit trees, apple, peach, plum, pear. They're growing strawberries, raspberries, grapes, cherries. They have zucchini, carrots, beetroots, cabbage, cauliflower, tomatoes, cucumber, green peas, green beans, Hokkaido pumpkins, butternut squash, potatoes, you name it. Everything that is needed to have a healthy lifestyle is there. The mountain air is so pure. Their child is having the ideal lifestyle in the sense that he's running in the fields, collecting flowers, climbing trees, breathing pure air, eating great food, and they have cows. This one cow, Ganga, has been there with them for 22 years. Long after her baby Dharma grew up, she's still giving milk steadily for 22 years, 2 liters every day.
That's amazing.
Yes, because she's being taken care of with so much love and devotion, she's pouring out her love in the form of that milk and nourishing that family for 22 years steadily. And they have experienced other cows from the neighboring farms escaping and coming to their barn for shelter because they know they're going to be slaughtered. That's how sensitive cows are.
Of course, yeah. Interesting.
It is just amazing for me to see what a healthy lifestyle this kid is growing up with and how peaceful. There's no noise, there's no shouting, screaming, honking, blaring, pollution, traffic, pure mountain air, green grass everywhere. There are herbs growing naturally. One Mataji, who's very expert in herbs, every few minutes she was bending down, picking up a herb, putting it in her hand and showing me. This herb you make into tea, your cold cough is gone. This herb you make into tea, your fever is gone. This herb is very good for hormonal issues for women. This other herb is for entirely revamping your body because it increases the iron. It was just amazing experience, Gurudev. Amazing.
Yeah, Krishna is amazing. He says, I am the healing herb. He's put everything in nature. You just have to be able to use it.
Everything that you said in the book Krishna's Way, Natural Living, I saw it manifesting in front of my eyes because we have sometimes this feeling, no, it can't work in today's world. No, we have to have an outside job. This is like too esoteric or it's too fancy to become a farmer. You have to have money. No, it's not true. If you really and truly take care of Mother Nature, she takes care of you.
Yeah. Dharma Raksha Rakshati. If you take care of Dharma, Dharma will take care of you. That's a statement. I would just add, not to get too much into this area, but right now the world's on a very critical time where World War III is just on the brink. It's pretty, if you follow the news, or at least to some degree, you'll find out things are really tense around the world, and many countries are folding economically because of sinful activities. Moral turpitude is the cause of destruction of the human culture. Economics cannot solve moral turpitude, no matter how much you do it. So we want to live a lifestyle that is conducive to the practice of Krishna consciousness, and that means a lifestyle that's free from exploitation. You know, when we live a lifestyle that we have to contribute to the whole process of exploitation of the earth, we're buying into that same thing that we protest against. Because we think that's the way it is, or it's convenient, or for whatever reason. Yeah, so Nani, thank you for that nice description. And maybe devotees will go when they go to Slovenia, come and see Aftershock. I used to, when I was living in Slovenia, they would give me the milk from that cow. And I would always be eager to get it. It was so like creamy and so nutritious. I remember that, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Shri Devi. I'm going to go to Keela, and after her, I'm going to read Nashringa Leela's question in the chat. So Keela, you can go ahead.
Anna also had her hands up, didn't she?
Yes, she comes after Nashringa Leela. I'm trying to keep up with the names here. It's great that there's so many questions. I just don't want to miss anybody. But yes, March first was Keela, then Nashringa Leela, then Anna, then Amritanam, and then Rishabha. Yes, I think I got it straight. Go ahead, Keela.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. I have a question about, you said that we search for material convenience instead of spiritual convenience. And now I'm in a moment when I have two choices, and maybe one choice bring me some more material convenience and less spiritual, and the other choice I think more spiritual convenience. But I can share that the two is not so private. Because I had to come back from Bhaktivedanta Manor because I realized that I have to take driver license in Italy. I have to finish. I have to do the exam in July, and I can stay. So I need 1 month and a half to do driving class, and the two possibility is that I can stay outside and maybe find a little work to help to pay this class. Or I can try to ask some devotees to if I can do this driving class inside the temple. But I'm just afraid to ask this to devotees a little bit because I don't want to be heavy for devotees. Because if I ask to go to the temple and then I need time to have class, and I just don't want to burden the devotees of the temple. And what do you think about that?
I don't have any comment.
Okay.
Good luck. But you should ask the devotees. There's nothing harmful.
Okay.
Yeah, they can only say no. If you say just ask nicely, no one will be offended.
Okay.
Yay.
Thank you, Keela.
Thank
Marge, there's a
you.
question
Thank
here
you.
from Nashringa Leela. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All Shishra Prabhupada. Marge, you mentioned how a rickshaw driver, even though with the Brahmin thread, cannot be, oops, I missed, okay, let me go up here. Cannot be called a Brahmana because of his occupation. I understand that. On the other hand, we know from scriptures that the higher castes were given a Brahmin thread, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. How to understand that? They are given a Brahmin thread, at the same time they're working, is not teaching, and everything else that Brahmanas do.
Yeah, Prabhupada said, what is the value of your 2-cent thread? What does it indicate? It indicates a certain type of activity. If you're not performing the activity, it's just a piece of string. That's all it is.
And a follow-up question, Marge, is we see in today's world that some persons have specific qualities and inclinations, but their parents could not provide a suitable education, so they are forced to do some simple work despite their potential. How to understand that in connection to considering a person in one of the varnas, because of lack of education, they're not able to do what they have inclinations for?
It's the way the world is today. There's a lot of compromise because of lack of education or because of misdirection. So that's what we want to correct. We want to give people, and Krishna consciousness is an educational institution. We're not a religious institution. We're educational, cultural educational. What is the culture? Spiritual. What is the education? Activities that are conducive to self-realization. And if you go through what we teach, you read the Bhagavatam, you hear Prabhupada's lectures, it talks a lot about the material world, a lot. but he talks it in relationship to the practice of spiritual life. He doesn't just give you like these, what we say, pie in the sky spiritual statements. He shows everything in relationship to material life, material relationships, our education, and how it is actually pushing us in the wrong direction. Everything is there. Prabhupada talks so much in relationship to the day-to-day life, but he connects the solutions to the problems as Krishna consciousness, or what we say, the practical understanding of how things go on according to the design given by the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord has designed everything to work perfectly. Ishavasham idam sarvam yat kincha jagam jagatena jaktena bundi chaha magrudaha kisiswadam. Everything is perfect and complete. There is no imperfection to Krishna's arrangements, both material and spiritual. When the human society gets in there and acts in the wrong way, or in a way that is not designed by the Lord himself, they change the whole results around. The activity is still, the situation is still perfect, but the results are imperfect. It's if you use the right thing in the wrong way, you're going to get the wrong result. If you, what do you say? If you use a knife to pry open a bottle, you might be able to get away with it, but you might ruin the knife also. The knife is designed to cut, not for prying open bottles. Or that's a crude example. I'm saying that this whole material world is designed to work in a certain way, and that is to bring people to spiritual life and to allow them to live nicely in the world. We don't have to suffer just because we're living in the material world. We suffer because we have material. We want to exploit and enjoy the material energy separate from our designated allotment. And people suffer. That's all. But if you use the perfection in a perfect way, then it gives you the results that are what we say beneficial, and it lifts you up towards Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you can use the material world in a different way, and you get the opposite effect, because it's not meant to be used in that way. Therefore, the Vedas are the information sources on how to live in this material world and how to make progress to the goal of life, Krishna consciousness. Both are there. But we've plugged into a demoniac society. This society is demoniac. Why? Because it, rather than gives to nature, it takes from nature and exploits nature and rapes nature. Everything is being done in an exploitative way because money is the foundation by which everything moves in the materialistic demoniac society. It's all about personal gain money. So, and there is some contribution to others that are given back to some degree, but in proportion to how it's been, how it's meant to be done, it's quite small. It's quite small. I can't say everything is bad. It's not like that, but the general direction of the leaders in society is to take nature and use it for material gain. Take animals and use it for material gain. Take anything and use it for material gain. And that's the wrong consciousness. Right consciousness is to use things in the service of the Lord and live according to Krishna's direction, as explained in Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a way to live, whether we like it or not. that's in line with nature and not against nature. That's the problem.
Thank you for such an in-depth answer, Maharaj. Definitely very helpful. And I know that Nashringalila said that that's was very, very helpful for her. Thank you so much. We always need this in-depth answer to help us think clearly in our minds.
Yeah, we have so many cars, but what are they doing? You have to get oil. You have to drill into the earth to get oil to run these machines, not only cars, but all machines. And then the pollution that it creates, it destroys the ozone, destroys the rivers, the forests. Every year, there's at least 1 million species of different types of species become extinct. Just like what did 5G do? 5G killed at least 1.1 billion different species. They're now playing with 6G. In testing 6G, birds were flying out of the sky and falling when they were in the range of the EMF of 6G. So we live in a very hellish society where everything is to rape the earth. But nobody's stopping it, and it's going on. Only we speak out against it. We can't stop it, but we can try to get out of it by creating an alternate society that is not exploitative, either to the individual or to people in general, and to nature also.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I'm going to go to Anna. Where is she? I just saw her. There she is. Okay, go ahead, Anna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, my questions have kind of been answered really, but yeah, John and I are trying to start a community here. And it was really funny you brought this subject up because we were talking about like the masculine and the femininity of women in a marriage, because we're trying to teach that to families and how to, communicate, because we're not perfect at all, but I'm very fortunate to have a husband who I can communicate and supports me. And so therefore I can be mother and I can stay at home, even though we're now doing a service to create a school and like a home education and help children how to learn to grow vegetables and learning about 5G and all of these things. But we were stuck on a question because we were like, what do we do with those people who, because the way the world's gone in propaganda, people and equal rights and everything, now women don't want to stay at home, they don't want to have kids, they don't want to nurture, they want to go out and work. And it's, everyone has a right to do what they want to do. But then we were sort of made a joke of it, those women that go out and they're independent, they always have a pet or an animal that they treat like a child, because it's a natural thing deep down. Every woman has embedded they need to nurture something. That is, no matter how much they try to push it away, it's always there. And so yeah, our question was kind of based on the way the world's going with the financial situation. How do we advise parents, because now relationships, you can't really have a one income for a household a lot anymore. Sometimes women are forced to work because they don't have a choice. So how do they maintain that mother role and still somehow work?
Yeah, we're in a compromise situation. You go one way, you compromise. You go the other way, you compromise. That's why Prabhupada 50 years ago warned us about this. He said, yeah, build these farm communities, or build a lifestyle that is free from the exploitation of human society. Like I mentioned, I'm here in Germany. We have nice houses here. The houses are nice, but around there's farms. Then there's agriculture, there's cows. It's not that you have to live in some kind of a shack. But cities are geared to economic progress. They want, it's all, you look everywhere you see, there's different industries. And what industries are just, working people to get labor. And so they can, formulate their products and sell them back on the market, which is most of the stuff that that are manufactured in today's society, and this is a statistic, is not needed.
Mm.
What we really need is the things we need is good food. We need proper education for kids. We need, of course, what else? We need proper medical care. These are the areas you have to put your attention on, and not creating all of these extra things. But even the basic needs of people have been turned into franchises by companies. They sell you back what you actually are given God rights for. In Brahminical society, the Brahmins were not only giving spiritual advice, they were giving medical advice, astrological, understanding also. No one should pay for education. No one should pay for any medical care. That should all be given by the society free of charge. But they've turned it into, a money-making deal. One of the biggest money-making businesses in the world is the medical industry. It's run by huge companies and corporations. And they're not even good at taking care of people, what to speak about all the money that they absorb at the same time. So if we don't see what's going on around us and we think it's okay, or it's just a little off, then we become victimized by that. So we advise to, we're not looking for some patchwork to try to fix the present situation. We're giving an alternate way on how one can actually become successful in all areas of life. Especially relationships. In a highly industrial complex, relationships are also come together based on economic gain. But that's not the motivation for relationships.
Yeah, no, that's so true, Gurmaj. Thank you for that. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Amritanam, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Gurmaj, please accept my humble obeisances of glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is a wonderful discussion and I'm really loving it. Thank you for the open conversations. One thing I was wondering is you mentioned that a mother's position comes after Krishna. So very important position. And somewhere in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that Bhagavad Gita has been opened for even Shudras and women and those kind of categories. So I was just seeing a little contrast in this. So how should we understand this? Female in the role of a mother, and when it is talked about scriptures.
We can't understand scripture unless we chant Hare Krishna. It's a fact. You can read these books over and over again, you get a little something. But if you don't chant Hare Krishna, that knowledge will never be revealed to you. That's why these things, the philosophy has to be supported by, glorification of the Lord. So Lord Chaitanya also said that. He said, what does he say? Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Vidya's knowledge. Vidu means bride. Jivanam means life. Vidya is considered to be male in this terminology, and Vidu means female. So Vidu or Vidya gets life from what? From the holy name, from glorification of the Lord. It's one of the benefits of chanting Hare Krishna. That's why Prabhupada always said we should never just have philosophy. We should always accompany our philosophy with kirtan. Because kirtan supports the understanding of the knowledge of the scriptures and helps to awaken that knowledge in a practical way. People can speculate, but they can't understand unless they actually chant Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Helped. Thank you. Rishabhadas, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. One question. When we engage devotee in their natural proclivities, and they're still struggling to perform it, why is it so? Is it lack of training or lack of something?
Well, could be many different reasons why that's there. You can't just say one reason. Depends on the individual, depends on their previous well, not karma, but previous conditioned nature, how they see things, how they've been lived, how they've been brought up. Now they're into their natural ways to do things. So it's going to seem artificial. It's going to seem a little, what we say, hard to develop, only because of previous conditionings. That's all. So education has to accompany the activity, so they get a clear understanding of how to perform the activity and what is the benefit of that activity.
I think this is a really valuable point to have in mind when spiritual master engages in something that is more natural for us, like what is actually in our nature, that we should be endeavoring to develop it fully before we, maybe will not feel it like it's our nature until later on. So thank you for that.
Yeah. If I tell you to, chant Hare Krishna, if I tell someone, they might say, well, why should I chant? And then I give them reasons. And then they'll say, well, what's the benefit for chanting? And then again, there's reasons for that. And what is the position of chanting? Then there's reasons for that. And all of these reasons can point to examples that those who have done it actually are, of this quality, this caliber. They actually they develop good qualities.
Thank you.
So it's not just dry philosophy.
Thank you, Rishabha Prabhu. Sridevi, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I'm just dying to live like this, I just wanted to share that. Please pray for me.
Someone will say, yes, we'll pray for you if you pray for me.
Thank you, Sridevi. Such wonderful questions, such nice discussion, lots of questions, lots of points shared. Thank you so much to all the devotees. Marge, would you like, are there any questions before I ask Marge to conclude with the run of chanting? Okay. If there isn't Marge, would you like to end with a run of chanting, Marge?
Yeah, I'm going to locate my beads and return.
Thank you, Marge.
Jeff is in action, okay. I feel much better with you than, because I think you know what food is about. You're expert. Okay, so. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktavindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Ram Hare Krishna Hare Rama Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna Hare Rama Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hari Hari Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
Hare Ram.
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Did he get a sweet? Give him a sweet now. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga.
Thank you so much, Mark. It was such a wonderful class. Really, very interactive discussion and lots of questions. And we thank all the devotees for joining us. Vanchakraptavyascha, Kripasindabevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki
Jai.
jai.
Thank you very much for today's
Wonderful
class.
day.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you
Hare
very much.
Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, obeisances, Guru Maharaj. It was very insightful, especially when you talk about mother and their role, important roles. It's very touching. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
We love our mothers. All of them, not just
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Narsingha Dev ki jai ho.
Jai Nrsimhadev.
Prahlad Maharaj ki jai ho.
Jai.
Jai ho.
Jai ho.